Well, a couple of things were interesting to me. It was interesting to me, obviously, Klay Thompson and Steph Curry stepped up, combining for 3 threes to go on a 9-0 run to overcome a 103-97 deficit with 3:28 left. But I think the most compelling component is that the Toronto Raptors, who seem to be able to amp it up whenever they want to, went the last 3:28 with just 2 points. 3:28 left. You go up 103-97 after a pull-up J from Kawhi Leonard. What happens? 23 seconds later, Nick Nurse, who we've been raving about throughout the postseason, suddenly has brain lock or what. I don't know what the hell it was. I don't know why he called the timeout. It's a team timeout by Toronto. You don't need to call a timeout at that particular moment in time. You see that your offense is flowing. You're taking advantage of Golden State. They seem gassed. They seem worn down. It seemed like Toronto was a bit too physical for them, and they were about to basically have a coronation inside the Scotiabank Arena. And then all of a sudden, you call a timeout. You give Golden State a reason to rest, to catch their breath, to get a reprieve from your onslaught. Yep. And lo and behold, Klay Thompson hits a 3. Then Steph Curry hits a 3. Then Klay Thompson comes back and hits a 3. And before you had a chance to sit up there and express a word, you were down 3 points. To me, that was a key pivotal point, particularly when you consider the fact that Nick Nurse, once again, obviously a fantastic coach who's done a fantastic job throughout this postseason, inexplicably calls a timeout and disrupts his own team's rhythm. I think that was the key to this game because they only scored 2 points thereafter, and it was on a goaltending play with a layup from Kyle Lowry with the goaltending against DeMarcus Cousins. You can't make that mistake in Game 5 of an NBA Finals closeout game. Nick Nurse made that mistake, and I think it cost him dearly.
We agree. I asked Doris Burke that very question, and she said Nurse has had a good feel for the pulse of his team, but I'm with you. It felt like a standing 8 for a boxer that was on the ropes that could have been perhaps knocked out, but that doesn't happen. They do get a chance, Stephen A., to go back home, but your sense of Golden State's ability to deal with this loss of Durant, do you believe they have enough to force a 7th game in that building?
I personally don't. I hope I'm wrong. I thought they would win tonight's game, but I got to admit to you, I spent the last 2.5 quarters absolutely positively depressed. Kevin Durant came out, hit all 3 of his threes, hit 3 of his 5 shots, was sitting there and looked like he hadn't lost a beat, lost a step at all. I thought he was on pace to drop 40. That's what I thought he was going to do tonight had he stayed on the court. And to see him go out that way, it was just so devastatingly deflating that it's hard to put into words. If you love the game of basketball, you want to see greatness, and somebody I consider to be the greatest in the game, it was knocked out of it. But give credit to where it's due to a champion showing a champion's heart. Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, those boys stepped up. Boogie Cousins showed up tonight to make amends for his no-shows in Oakland, and Draymond Green was absolutely brilliant as well. So you take all of those things into consideration, along with the huge assist on a part of Nick Nurse, and that's why we've got a Game 6. I'm going to take this one game at a time and tell you that the Warriors going back to the Oracle, I can't imagine them losing 3 games at the Oracle in the same series, so I'll go with the Warriors going into Game 6, but the bottom line is Toronto is physical, they're deeper, they look to have Golden State gas, and Nick Nurse let them off the hook.